All right. Welcome back, you inglorious bastards and magnificent bitches. It is I, Doc Camo, and we're back for my thought of the day. To you guys listening, it's Monday mornings. As for me, it's Sunday nights, January 17th. And the fuckery continues. So, we're going to talk about culture war and the importance of building culture. That's what we're going to talk about in today's podcast. Uh, but here, to do that, we need your help. You have to help us beat the censorship machine by subscribing, sharing, writing a review, doing whatever your preferred social media platforms tools to help boost us in that algorithm and get us out there to help us beat the censorship machine. Uh, Join the email list at www.thatsonpoint.squarespace.com so you can get notified every time there's a new video that goes live, a new piece of content for you guys. Plus, every month we're going to choose somebody from the email list random to get a free shirt. This month we're giving away the Make Speech Free Again shirt. At the end of the month, we'll be choosing one random person and we'll be giving that away because we got to do something to help engage you guys, something to help build culture. We're trying to build culture here on the show because that is the most that is what we need to do moving forward in order to combat this hellhole that we have going on in the world today. But before we get into it, I want to give up a weekly update on the which is a new thing. A weekly update on the battle for free speech. Trump has gotten his Instagram and his Facebook restored. He is no longer banned on those two platforms, though there are a bunch of leftists reeing all over the place because they're mad. I mean, he's still banned on Twitter and Pinterest and other. Did he even have? I don't even know who uses Pinterest. But anyway, that's a victory for free speech. I don't know how the bans were overturned, but the bans were overturned, and he can speak again. They should have never banned him. They shouldn't be banning anyone, but they should have never banned him in the first place. So that is a victory for us here in the free speech camp. Social media, Donald Trump 1 or 2, social media 5 or 6 at this point. We're still down. Social media is still dominating the censorship shitbaggery. Another thing is the Parler CEO came forward, and I know he said originally it was probably going to be about a week before the site came back, but it's looking like the site's not coming back up. He's flat out saying that. I know we've already talked about it on the podcast a couple episodes back. I didn't think it was going to recover, but he's saying it may not recover. He's not giving up or whatnot, but he has to find vendors that are actually willing to do business with him because it's not just the hosts. They said they could find a new host or whatnot, but the vendors they're pulling out investors, and you can't really run a business without the investors to help do business with you and work with you and use your site. For that reason, I think you should use Minds instead of Facebook and Twitter. I mean, I'm using Minds. The podcast is it's getting a lot of traffic on Minds. And Minds, they just Google was like, oh, you have to change the Google Play Store app because of RBS, and Minds was like, boom, APK, download it now. And then so they're making moves to stay ahead of the machine, so they don't end up like Parler. But the actual CEO of Parler, let me get into this. Is it? Yeah, it could be never. We don't know yet. Right? These are his direct words. I'm reading them from this is the New York Post. He says it may take days, it may take weeks, but Parler will return and we'll be back stronger. Is what he ended it with. But he's saying it may he also said it may never happen. So I think that just means they're going to be going into it full bore. And I think it's stupid that everybody dumped him. It's Facebook is the one that everybody organized that garbage on. Twitter still has threats of violence up on Twitter from leftists. But Parler, who bans stuff like that instantly or whatever, somehow is the arbiter of all these terrorists, and you can't even organize on power, but somehow they used it to organize and lead a riot against the insurrection in the Capitol. like the narrative coming out of this whole big tech censorship BS is ridiculous, and it's all the more important that we continue the fight for speech, freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is the hallmark, the cornerstone of our values. Without being able to speak your mind and stuff, you are not free. You're just not. Like it's really important that we keep that in mind. It's like it's time to abandon alt tech. You can keep your the old tech as long as you can, but it's time to jump on the Minds. It's time to jump on the Gab. It's time to jump on the BitChutes. It's time to jump on Rumble, Odyssey, Library, Daily Motion, Signal, Telegram. It's time to get on as many alt tech sites as possible. Even build your own platforms. But it's time to diversify because you can't rely on not being on the chopping block next. And one day, and then at first they came for this, but I didn't say anything because they didn't come for me. And then they came for this, and I didn't say anything. They come for me, but then they come for me. So don't be naive to think that you're going to escape this big tech garbage. Yeah, your time for being banned is coming, and we got to get on free alternatives like Gab and Minds, free open sourced alternatives to these the alt tech revolution is important. It's going to be important for freedom moving forward, freedom in the information age, because the communist fuckery coming out of big tech, it's palpable. I, I can't even like you can. It's like so thick you can cut it. I can't believe we're here. Like, what the fuck happened to us, America? How can we allow companies to have that much power over people? How? Like they have freedom of they can like if they want to be a publisher, they should take legal liability for being a publisher. We shouldn't let them play us like that. We shouldn't let them use liability protections and then not give us what they're supposed to give us for using those liability protections. Like the shirt says, it's time to make speech free again. It's time to make speech free again. It's just that's plain and simple. It's time to make speech free again. I'm just saying.